This is Bremerhaven, one of the largest harbors in Germany still. Yeah. Hi there. Hi there. I'm in Bremerhaven. Bremerhaven. City of about, I think, 113,000 inhabitants, more or less. Well, the city is part of the state of Bremen, but it's, I don't know, it's 40 minutes drive from Bremen in the north. And this is where the open sea is. Yeah, that's gonna be third part of Anna's Way to America and final part. Yeah, let's see how that works. So, but there's also tobacco. There's also tobacco, and I thought only proper tobacco to bring for the third and last part of Anna's Way to America would be an American tobacco, of course. Well, this is about a fresh start, reaching the new world, so bringing tobacco from the new world. So, and what would be better than a tobacco? What is called, like the kind of ship that Anna probably used to go to America, and this would be Windjammer. Look at that, Windjammer. So, there's some pretty similar ships in Bremerhaven here too. If I got a chance, I'm gonna show you. And I'm gonna talk about Anna Elizabeth later, but let me first talk about the tobacco for those of you who aren't interested in the story at all. No problem. No problem. You just skip that. So that's why I'm gonna start with tobacco. So the Windjammer is a Pease, and I don't know. Wait, no. I said that often. Pease never lets me down. So I don't know. So that's. I don't want to spoil all the fun of the review, but I just want to tell you right on spot. All right, I'll tell you what they say on the tin. This tin is unopened. So I got this tin 2 days ago, or 3 days ago, by Doug Owen, good friend Doug Owen, a retailer, the owner of Cargo Hole in Pole's boat finest shop in the region, I think. So thank you so much, Doug, for that. Because I had another 2 tins, but they're still gone. So, and I wanted to do the video with a fresh tin and open that in front of you, because I wanted to give you some kind of first impression. Well, it's not a first impression, of course, because I already had 2 tins, but a first impression from the tin. And I was lucky to have that. Still, tobacco came probably, I don't know, not over Bremerhaven, but by air. or airmail over Hamburg, and so that meant I had to go to the customs, and it was really a fight with the customs this time. Oh, I'm just watching out in this direction because I don't know, ships coming. I don't know if they're gonna ruin the video, just making a lot of noise. Let's see. And there's rain coming. Really? I don't know. Let's try to go on for a second. I have to watch the camera. Camera is already getting, I don't know, it's already taking rain here. I think I have to clean that up. I ain't gonna show you that. Perhaps I have to cut because there's a lot of rain here. I don't know, can you still see that? I see camera is already getting wet here. Yeah, well, it's harbor region here. You don't know what happens. Doing a lot of work here. Let me just switch side here. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I think I have to do a little cut here. Anyway, so what you can see that a harbor is still going on. So business is still strong here in the harbor. It's still one of the largest harbors in Germany here. And they do, I don't know, they do a lot of shipping. I think it's about, I don't know, 80 million tons or whatever. And they do a lot of shipping of cars. So I think it's the largest car shipping harbor in Europe. So they have parking space here for 120,000 cars here just to ship that. Yeah, that's just a parking space for that. All right, I'm gonna cut that and wait until it stops to rain. Guys, if you know the channel, you know that's part of the fun. So difficult conditions, I just like that. Love it. All right, let's try to continue. I'm really, I don't know, I'm just one step from the water, so I have to be careful not to get too excited about something, tobacco or something else. I'm gonna tell you what they say on the tin. So, a rich and satisfying cut cake, comprising sweet, ripe Virginias, nutty birdie, unflavored, toasted black Cavendish, and a generous measure, that's a tongue breaker, of Perique. Yeah, it's a lot about Perique. A splash of dark rum ties it all together and adds a bit more sweetness. As you enjoy this slow, clean burn and flake, you'll find hints of cocoa, black walnuts and dried fruits, enhanced, complex, natural tobacco goodness. Full on the palate with a delightful aroma. Enjoy smooth sailing with Windjammer. Yeah, that's what we all hope. Having a smooth sailing. All right, let's open that up. Oh, there we go. Yeah. First whiff is quite different than it is if, let's say, if you after I don't know, after 1 or 2 weeks in the tin, if it's open or whatever. Even if it's not dried out, but smell is different then. So first whiff is all about rum, I think, and I don't want to inhale that. It's nice, it's round, sweet, and it's about this rum. It's even some fruit components coming up, and this is just delicious. Let me open that. So, as always, comes with a nice wrapper. Sometimes not easy to get rid of them. So, all right, and then it's perfectly packed as always when it comes to GOPs. So you have these two layers here, and this really thoughtfully done mechanism. So you just take these and you just lift it up. Tobacco comes up a bit and it's ready to be packed, and look at that. Yeah, it is. It looks delicious. Perfect. Humidity is quite perfect. Comes in perfect condition. You don't have a hard time packing this, or I hope I don't. I hope you don't caught me. You don't get me in a lie here, or catch me in a lie. Let's see if that's really easy to pack. Oh, already afraid of lighting that up. It's so windy here. I don't know if there's any chances. Not to mention that we're in harbor region. Oh no, there's. I think on the other side, this is 50 meters from here. This is gas or oil or something. Let's see. See if we all go up in flames here. So, yeah, smell is fantastic. Well, it changes after some days. So after some days, you really get some of these perique notes, and it's getting stronger and stronger. And this tobacco, it really is a lot about perique. So black Cabernet is just to smooth a little bit down and give it some extra sweetness, and that's all right. So the Virginia is pretty nice, and you got these little citrus notes from the Virginia, which you don't get very often, these citrus notes, but in this case you got it. So let me just try to line it up. Can't promise anything. Wind's gonna kill me here. Well, I would like to say tobacco is easy to light up. That's true, but just about the wind here. So, but you see, it is possible. So it's I don't know, Windjammer approved. Windjammer, just a little side story. Windjammer, in Germany we have the same word, Windjammer. We call that Windjammer. We normally think, and what's the same for me, we normally think that refers to the sound, the howling of the wind in the sails. The sound that the wind does when it goes into the whole, I don't know, whole construction. So because wind is wind in Germany, but jammer is jammer. So, and jammer means howling or complaining or, I don't know, whining. And at first I thought, well, this is a German word used in English, but it is really an English expression, and really means to jam the wind. Makes even more sense. But even now with all the wind, you have these really fine dried fruit notes. But it is a lot of wood, earth, and it's an honest tobacco. You can say that, honest tobacco, and you feel that. It is strong. Some guys even say it's bold. I don't know. It's not too bold. I think so. Nick strength is about a medium. I think, perhaps a bit more, but it feels like a bit more. Give you that. It feels like a bit more because it's about the Perique. You have these strong and really nice pepper notes from the Perique. So if you don't like the Perique, this wouldn't be something for you. But if you, well, like me, if you really like the Perique, this is brilliant tobacco. It's just nice tobacco. God damn, look at me. I just can't really see myself. I look like a mess, I guess. What was that? Yeah, nice tobacco. Slightly plum and raisin notes always, especially in a retrohale. So just tickling, just joining the Perique, and if the tin is fresh, so after opening, you really have these rum notes. But my experience is rum notes disappear after a few days, and I think that's often when it comes to these. Well, it's done by Cornell and Deal, and as I said, GFBs never lets me down. And would be a completely different question. Why is it that some of these companies, and I think that goes for for Cornell and Deal, and also goes for Kohlhase, the best stuff they produce, they don't do for themselves. I don't know. Let me just clean up my glasses here. All right, that's better. So, and same for Cola, for Cornell and Deal, I think. So best stuff they do. That was just my opinion. They do for GOPs. So I really love these GOPs, and as I said, GOPs never lets me down. And I'm even surprised by that. But it's with some companies, let's say HU. They nearly never let me down, let's say that. Sometimes, but nearly, they really do great stuff. And some of the stuff is done by Kohlhase. I think it's, most of the time it's better than Kohlhase does for itself. So, well, except for the rat race perhaps, which is also done by Kohlhase and some kind of home brand. All right. What else to say? I think it could be a wonderful tobacco to put in storage for down the cellar for, I don't know. This tobacco in 10 years, well, I can't prove it now because tobacco came up, I think, last year in 21, I think, if I'm correct. And this tin is quite fresh, and this is an interesting experiment because all of my American friends tell me normally if you get a Cornell and Deal, just let it sit for half a year, or better you let that sit for a year before you open that up, because they pack pretty fresh. And this tin is packed pretty fresh, and it's already brilliant. So Windjammer, highly recommended. And we want to talk about Anne Elizabeth today, but we don't want to talk about her here. I want to show you one or two things, and but keep in mind that that's some kind of ship that she used in 1843 to find her way to America. All right, I think that's it about the Windjammer tobacco. Perhaps if, I don't know, some idea crosses my mind or whatever, I come up later with that. So, I don't know, I'm a bit distracted by all the circumstances. Excuse me. All right, and I think the security coming. We have to know this harbor region, and cigarettes. I'm not allowed to smoke here, I guess. So I better hop off. Alright. Let's change. Yeah, here you go, guys. That's one of the Windjammers here in Bremerhaven, the Germany. Alright, we're gonna go hit the museum, the migration museum now. Just turn up. Yeah, I want to show you one or two things at the migration museum. Might be interesting for you, I don't know. It's, let's see what we can find there about similar conditions Anna had to her way to America, on her way to America, or other German immigrants. Well, let's hit the museum.
Dear visitor, welcome to the German Immigration Center at Bremerhaven. This room is historically modeled after a third-class waiting hall from the year 1869. It was located on the other side of the harbor, opposite the present museum. Immigrants waited here for their departure. On your tour, you will repeatedly pass through historical reconstructions and right into the history of migration.
Bremerhaven war einer der größten
That's pretty much what immigration looked like in the 19th century here in the Auswanderer house in Bremerhaven. They reconstructed everything. Alright, we're just entering the ship. So we're now reaching Alice Island. First signs in English. No more beer for this guy. There's no really good tobacco here in the shop. Yeah. Yeah. Not easy to fix camera yet. Well, just chooching on the rest of this really nice Pease. Windjammer. Really windproof. All right, guys. I don't know if that's even understandable. There's so much wind going on here, but we're at the coast, so we shouldn't be wondering about that. So what you see behind me is a statue they erected here for the German immigrants. And you see their family, German family, just about to go overseas, just to enter the ship and leaving home and trying to build something new in a new world, unknown world. And that's pretty much where our story ends today, about Anne Elizabeth, the little girl from Holzbarge, from the small village, Lower Saxony, coming all her way up, and finally coming here, entering the ship. The name of the ship was the Alviner, and the ship pretty much looked like the Windjammer I showed you on the GIP tin. How do we know that? We have a ship's manifest. Quite windy, and we'll try to show you anyway. So, and you see here, I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but I assure you. So here's written the name of the ship. That's the Wiener, and the captain. The captain's name was Ahrensfeld, Mr. Ahrensfeld. Yeah, he was sailing back and forth, back and forth. How do we know that it was a sailing ship or some kind of windjammer? Well, for several circumstances. So it was in 1843. So that means steam engines on boats were existing, but that wasn't common in those days. Second is, it was not a small, whale hunter or something like that, because Mr. Ahrensfeld, Captain Ahrensfeld, he always took in 96 passengers on every journey. Every journey, 96 passengers to America, and that's a lot. That's a lot. And he always needed a lot of time, several weeks always. So We can see that here. Well, his passengers 96, and he reached New York in September 15, and he took off here on July the 5th. So that was a long journey from here to America. So, but I told you how the story ends here. So what happened? What happened next? Did Anna make it to America, or did she die on the journey? No, she didn't. How do I know? So I have a manifest here. Don't worry, it's not the original. So just a copy. I hope it doesn't go where. Get here. So if you take a closer look, I can show you which line it is. So try to do this here. Oh, damn. Excuse me. So where my finger is, there's Elizabeth Sinneberg. Elizabeth Sinneberg, and that's a manifest from Ellis Island. Copy of that, New York. So that means she made it finally to New York. And what happened then? Well, this is where the sad part begins for a historian. If you accompany somebody, you find in the sources and the documents, and you try to follow him, and you follow him, and you follow him, and you, I don't know, this person, the life of this person becomes some kind of attached to you or whatever, or you make some kind of connection, and suddenly they just step into the shadow of history. They just step aside. The fading out just, and that's what happened here. So the last thing we hear about Anna is where she tells the guy from the administration, from the authorities in Ellis Island, he's asking, what is your name? And she stated her name, Elizabeth Sinneberg. And that's the last thing we hear from her. And there's another thing. In this document, they're all written, all the names and the ages. And there's no age. So she was 24. But it's not written here. And that means probably that she didn't understand what the guy was asking her. And she had nobody to translate that, probably, because all the other ages were listed here. So probably there was somebody in the group of immigrants able to speak English or whatever. So, and that probably means she was pretty much alone. And that's the last thing we know about her. Then she just disappears. 24-year-old young lady in New York, 1843. So we don't know what happened then, but it's probably not a good sign that we don't hear from her. Perhaps she made a fortune. So I don't want to. I don't know. Be too negative about that or whatever. But if she would have married in New York, if she would have had children, or I don't know, driving a successful business or whatever, we probably wouldn't know about that, because there's Mormon database, and it's the finest database in the world probably about that, and we probably wouldn't know about that. So, but the sign that she just disappears is probably not a good sign. But we shouldn't let our hopes just slip away or whatever. So we can still imagine that something good happened, and perhaps, I don't know, she met somebody, they went to the West, and wasn't documented or whatever, and they just left, and I don't know, living on a small farm, happily ever after. Still possible, but unlikely for a historian. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. That's the story about Anna Elizabeth, girl from Holzberge, ending up in New York. Hope that was some kind of interesting for you. I don't know. So, but you know, from this place, and that's why they erected the statue here, millions of Germans took their way to build up a new world, or to find their fortune, or just to leave a misery, or a world that they no longer wanted, or yeah, or a world that didn't want them. I don't know. Maybe it's a combination. So, alright guys, that's it for now. Perhaps you give the Windjammer a chance. Windjammer, I feel like a Windjammer too right now. I don't know. It is so windy here. I don't know if you heard anything of the things I was talking on. Anyway, give the Windjammer a shot if you have a chance. And take care guys. Hope you have something good to chew on. And perhaps see you again.